Well, good morning. It's Sandra Green here from the WLA. It's a rather cold and a little wet, damp Saturday morning, and it's about 6 o'clock. And I'm dedicated to producing a vlog each week. So I got myself up and out and walking in the lovely wood just near where I live, actually. So today I wanted to talk to you about the stories we tell ourselves. It's come about as a result of a number of conversations I've had this week with friends and with clients about the pressure people are feeling, and it's understandable. I've talked about this before, and it struck me. A friend of mine in particular said she realised that the story she was telling herself was not particularly helpful. She'd had a particular instance with a boss and hadn't quite gone to plan, and she was berating herself. I should have done this, and if only I'd done that. And sometimes that's good. Sometimes we need to think about improvements. I'm all for making ourselves better. But when we get stuck in that spiral of negativity and all this and all that, and another conversation with an amazing woman, actually, she's beautiful and she's successful, and yet she's in floods of tears, thinking her world's crashed around her. She isn't good enough. She doesn't know who she is anymore. And we are feeling this heaviness, aren't we, in the air? And for me, the starting point is to think about the stories that we're telling ourselves. So what is the script that you're running in your mind? Are you full of love and joy? Are you full of self-doubt and self-worth and constantly improving? We have on our boot camp actually this week, we were talking about some of our values, and another woman in particular is very driven, and lots of women are very driven. And the thing with driven women, I find, is that they often, I'm going to hit by a tree then, they often set very high expectations, very high, and almost to the point where they can't achieve them because it's the drive that fuels them. And again, that's great, but it's when it's overused to the point where we just feel, we wake in the night and we think, oh, what else do I have to do? What else do I have to do? And for me, there is something about change the story within. Change what you're feeding yourself. Notice, first of all, what you're feeding yourself, because you can't change anything unless you know where you're at. And you need to start thinking about who you are in a positive light. I can't tell you. There's a great quote by Oprah. She did many great quotes, didn't she? And of course I can't quite remember it now. I'm walking through the wood. But it's to do with if we think bad thoughts, we will attract more of that to us. And what we need to be doing is attracting the positive side, and looking after ourselves. So please be aware that if you're feeling off kilter, it's probably to do with what you are feeding your mind. The mind can't differentiate between reality and perception, and you need to just start telling your mind how brilliant you are. Seriously, wake up every morning and fill out the blank to the words "I am." And rather than saying I'm daft, or I'm no good, or I'm not worthy, or I'm not deserving, start telling yourself what you are. I am beautiful, and I am joyful, and I am happy, and I am learning every day, whatever the words are. But start feeding your mind with stories that are positive. Remind yourself of times when you've been at your best, when you felt in flow, when things did go really well, and start reminding yourselves of your beauty within. And I honestly it's such a powerful tactic. And as I shared with a couple of people, it's not easy to go from the dark to the light, if you like, from A to B, or A to Z, without the steps in between. And if you can find some small ways every day to do something for you, to do something where you can turn the mind chatter off, to do something that brings you joy. Those of you who might follow me on Facebook know my baking skills are a little up and down. But when I do get into the kitchen and do some cooking, I turn off, my mind turns off, and I'm able to enjoy the experience, even if others might not enjoy the outcomes. So anyway, I just wanted to share that today, to help you think about what are the stories you're feeding your mind, what are the stories you're telling yourself. And if you can, start feeding your mind with positive thoughts and positive expectations. There's a quote by my coach, which is, "The universe is positively rearranging itself to meet my expectations." So I quite like it, something like that. So anyway, on that note, I'm going to say have a lovely, lovely day. I hope it's not cold and wet where you are, and I hope you manage to get some self-care this weekend. Have a lovely weekend. Take care.